Find the exponential Fourier series of impulse train and also plot its magnitude and phase spectrum for Cn. That means this is something new. So for Cn, exponential Fourier series coefficient Cn, we have to find the magnitude and phase spectrum, because already we know that Cn itself is a complex. Whenever we have a complex number, we can write magnitude and phase for that number. That means we can represent in terms of polar. So then this is the impulse train, where the impulse is present at regular interval. Periodically it is present. Okay, now the time period of this impulse train is T naught. Time period of this impulse train is T naught. Okay, so time period is equal to T naught. And then the limit, either we can take from 0 to T naught, or otherwise we can also take from minus T naught by 2 plus T naught by 2. Suppose if we take limit, 0 to T naught, or otherwise we can also take from minus T naught by 2 plus T naught by 2. Anyway, the time period is T naught only in both the cases. But once if we take 0 to T naught, again the integration is a little bit complex, because again in the interval, okay, you are having impulse at the edges. So but it's not well defined. The integration is not well defined once if you take once the impulses are present at the edges. But whereas if the impulse is present at the middle, say if you take the limit from minus T naught by 2 plus T naught by 2, then the impulse is present at the middle. That means the impulse is present within the interval. Then we know that whenever the impulse is there within the interval, okay, then the integration, okay, if the impulse is present within the interval, then the integration value is equal to 1. That means area under that impulse is 1. Okay, so that's why we will take the integration from minus T naught by 2 plus T naught by 2 instead of from 0 to T naught. Okay. Then what is the formula for Cn? Cn is equal to 1 by time period integration minus T naught by 2 plus T naught by 2. Directly we can take 1 by T naught, that means 1 by time period. Okay, x of t e power minus jn omega naught t dt. 1 by T naught integration minus T naught by 2 plus T naught by 2. X of t value is del t e power minus jn omega naught t dt. Already we know that whenever the impulse is multiplied by the other signal, again that other signal time can be replaced with the impulse time. So that means 1 by T naught minus T naught by 2 T naught by 2 del t. Again we know that this del t is valid only at t is equal to 0, because inside the interval we are having only one impulse. Okay, so that impulse we are denoting here. Again here the time t is equal to 0, so that's why e power minus j n omega naught multiplied with 0 into dt. Again e power 0 is 1, so 1 by T naught minus T naught by 2 plus T naught by 2 del t dt. So now this del t is present inside the integration limit. So this value, entire value is 1. The integration value is 1. So the answer is 1 by T naught. Answer is 1 by T naught. So Cn, the exponential Fourier series coefficient Cn is equal to 1 by T naught. In general, Cn is complex, but in this case, Cn is not complex. Okay, Cn is just real. So even if you take the magnitude for this one, again it is same only, 1 by T naught only. Then what is the phase? What is the magnitude? If we take magnitude, that is 1 by T naught only. Then if we take phase for this one, again 0, because here there is no j term, so we will not get any phase. So the phase is always 0. Okay. Then what about the exponential Fourier series expansion? That is, in general, x of t is equal to summation n minus infinity to plus infinite Cn e power jn omega naught t. So Cn we have calculated as what? 1 by t naught. So 1 by t naught e power jn omega naught t. Again, this is independent of n, so that's why we can take outside also. So 1 by t naught summation n minus infinity to plus infinite e power jn omega naught t. So this is the Fourier series representation for the periodic pulse train. Okay, so this is the one way of solving the problem. Okay, so again, this omega naught means what? Omega naught is 2 pi divided by time period. In this case, that is 2 pi divided by t naught. So omega naught you can also replace with 2 pi by t naught. Okay, so we are getting 1 by t naught. Cn is equal to 1 by t naught. The same problem we can also solve in with help of the same problem can be solved in different manner. Okay, so that we'll try now. Other method, same problem with the other method. So what is that other method? Already we know the Fourier series for the rectangular pulse train. So this we have already discussed. Okay, we took the pulse train like this. Okay, already we have taken the pulse train like this. Okay, where this is 0 t1 minus t1, and again this is t by 2, where this is t. Okay, and then this is t by 2, again this is minus t by 2, this is minus t. So a t x of t. Okay, already we have taken the problem like this. Okay, we already found out the exponential Fourier series for this problem. Okay, for this waveform. Okay, so I'll directly write that. Okay, already we have calculated. Okay, so that is Cn is equal to a divided by n pi sin n omega naught t1, sin n omega naught t1. Okay, so with help of this problem we'll try to find out the Fourier series for impulse train. Okay, so this is the rectangular pulse train. Okay, so this is the rectangular pulse train. Okay, this is the rectangular pulse. It is going continuously on both the sides, so that's why this is rectangular pulse train. So here in this one, if you try to reduce the width of this waveform, see here between minus t1 to t1, a is our value. So what we'll try to do, we'll try to reduce the width of this one. So again, you reduce as small as possible. That means you try to make t1 as, okay, you try to make t1 as 0. Okay, t1 goes towards 0. So once if t1 goes towards 0, what will happen? Okay, again it will become like impulse. Okay, similarly again, once if you make t1 tends to 0, again this also it will go. That means what? You are trying to make the width of the rectangular pulse to go to 0. So we are making the width of the rectangular pulse to go to 0. So again, the same is applicable for all other pulses. So okay, so what we will do in this expression, in this Cn, we'll try to put t1 is equal to 0. But t1 is going to 0. We know that whenever we have a rectangular pulse, okay, once if you try to make t1 as 0, again we do not know what is the amplitude value. That actually the amplitude value will go to infinite. Okay, amplitude value, once if you make width as 0, this amplitude will go to infinite. But the area, that means what? The area under the single impulse is always 1. We know that whenever we have an impulse, the area under the impulse is 1. So that means what? we are telling integral del t is equal to 1. So that means what? Area under the impulse is 1. We got this impulse from this rectangular pulse. So that means what? The pulse area is also 1. So that means 2 T1 into A also will go to 1. So in general, it is 1. The area of this one is 1. Okay, because why it is 1? Because you are trying to make this pulse train as a impulse. Area under the impulse is always 1. If that has to be true, the area under this pulse, rectangular pulse, has to be 1. So that is 2T1A, because the width is 2T1, amplitude is A, so 2T1A is 1. So we'll take this expression. In this expression, we'll try to apply this limit. Okay, then we can directly get Cn for pulse impulse train. Okay, so already we know what is the value, that is 1 by T naught. Just now we have solved it. Cn will be 1 by T naught. We'll try to get that. Okay, so now we'll take the Cn value. Cn is equal to A divided by n pi. Cn is equal to A divided by n pi sine n omega naught T1, n omega naught T1. Again, we know that omega naught is equal to 2 pi by T. That means 2 pi by time period. Here time period is T. That means from minus T by 2 to plus T by 2. So the time period is T. So that we can replace here. So A divided by n pi sine, okay, sine 2n pi T1 divided by T, T1 divided by T. See, please imagine T1 is a number. T1 is a number. Please note down. T1 is like just number. Okay. T is the time period of the waveform. T1 is just like a number. Okay. So then how to proceed further? Okay. So again, we are having one formula, sinc formula. Sinc x is equal to sine pi x. Okay, sine pi x divided by pi x. Once if you have in this format, we can write it as sinc x. So sine sine that pi will take separately. Okay, that pi, then we'll write the rest of the things. 2n T1 divided by T. Okay. Then in the denominator, okay, we are not having again for support we are having n pi. That n pi we can take here. See, already A is there. Already A is there. This n pi I can take it here. Okay, that pi I will use here. Okay, I am having n. I'm having n. So what else I need to bring this format? I need 2. Okay, I need 2. I need T1. I need T. So these 2 T1 by T, I have introduced as a extra component. So for that, I have to write it in the reverse manner here. That means T divided by 2T1. So this you can take up. Okay, so that means 2A T1 divided by T. This component is resembling the structure. Okay, sine pi x divided by pi x. So that's why I can write like sine. Okay, pi I can absorb sinc. Okay, sinc 2n T1 divided by T. Okay, so I am getting Cn as this one. Cn is equal to 2A T1 divided by T sinc 2n T1 by T. Okay, Cn is equal to 2A T1 by T sinc 2n T1 divided by T. Now just we'll try to apply the limit. Okay, what is that limiting value? T1 has to go to 0, 2T1A has to be 1. Okay, 2T1A must go to 1, T1 must go to 0. So if 2T1A goes to 0 means that numerator is 1. So that means 1 by, I think this is T naught. Okay. What we are using, T or T naught? Okay, we are using T, no problem. Okay. So 1 by T, okay. 1 by T, sync T1 is 0. Okay, Z1 is 0. That means 0. Some mistake is there. T1 by T. This is T. Okay, this is T. Okay, so now sync 0. We are having sync 0 now. Okay, because T1 is going to 0. So that's why this is 0. Okay, what is the value of sync 0? The value of sync 0 is 1. Okay, how it is 1? Sync x is equal to sine pi x divided by pi x. Okay, then if limit x tends to 0, again 0 by 0, you apply L'Hospital rule. Okay, L'Hospital rule, again you differentiate the numerator separately and denominator separately, then again you apply the limit so that you will get 1. Okay, so sync 0 is 1. So finally we are getting 1 by t. So Cn is equal to 1 by t. Again, don't get confused with the previous one. In the previous case, we have taken the limit as t naught, sorry, that time period as t naught. Now in this case, we have taken as t. That's why we are getting the difference. Otherwise, both are same only. So this I have taken as t. So if you take t naught here, okay, if we take t naught here, in all the places we'll get t naught. Okay, everywhere we'll get t naught. Here also t naught, t naught, t naught, t naught, t naught. Then finally we'll get t naught, t naught, t naught, t naught. So we'll get Cn is equal to 1 by t naught. Okay. Okay, so next in the Fourier series, we'll see some different variety of problems. These problems may be asked in terms of 2 marks or 4 marks like that. To find the Fourier series, find Fourier series coefficient of given signal. Again, that first signal x of t is equal to sine omega naught t. Okay, so now we are, see, Fourier series means in general the representation of non-sinusoidal periodic signal with help of infinite periodic sinusoidal signal. But here the signal itself, they are giving it as a sinusoidal signal. Then how to get the Fourier series coefficient? Okay, so once if you represent in terms of the trigonometric Fourier series coefficient, directly you can write either A1 or B1 depending on the fundamental frequency, or otherwise we can also represent in the complex exponential Fourier series format, Fourier series coefficient. So it's always, they will not mention explicitly to find out the complex exponential Fourier series coefficient. Just they'll give like this, then it is implied that we have to find out the complex exponential Fourier series coefficient. So x of t is given, then how to find out the complex exponential Fourier series coefficient? So we know that whenever sin t is given, we can write like this: 1 by 2j e power j omega naught t minus e power minus j omega naught t. Okay, then we can write like this. Okay, so minus 1 by 2j, this minus I am taking here, e power j minus 1 omega naught t plus 1 by 2j e power j 1 omega naught t. So that means what? Whenever the exponential what is the Fourier exponential Fourier series representation? X of t is equal to summation n minus infinity to plus infinite Cn e power jn omega naught t, so that you can compare with this. Okay, so we can compare with this. So that means what, if you expand you'll get so many terms, but out of all the term only two terms are surviving. Okay, only two terms are surviving, that is c1. Okay, that is c minus 1 e power minus j omega naught t plus c1 e power j omega naught t. So that means what, c minus 1 is minus 1 by 2j, c1 is plus 1 by 2j. Okay, so c minus 1 is minus 1 by 2j, c plus 1 is 1 by 2j. So then what is the cn value? Cn value is 0 for all other value except n, except when n is not equal to plus or minus 1. Okay, when n is not equal to plus or minus 1, that cn value is 0, because when n is equal to 1, c1 is 1 by 2j. When n is equal to minus 1, c minus 1 is minus 1 by 2j. Again, there is no other component here, that's why all other component values are 0. All other component values are 0. So next question, x of t is equal to cos omega naught t. In solution, same thing. Okay, so instead of sin they are giving it as a cos, so e power j omega naught t, e power minus j omega naught t. Okay, then again straight away you can write c1 is equal to 1 by 2, c minus 1 is also 1 by 2, both are same. Then except when again cn is equal to 0 when n is not equal to plus or minus 1. Third question, x of t is equal to 1 plus sine omega naught t 2 cos omega naught t plus cos 2 omega naught t plus pi by 4. Okay, for this we have to find out the Fourier series coefficient. Again, we know that whenever we write the Fourier series coefficient, okay, definitely the signal, given signal has to be a periodic signal. Okay, previously they given sine or cos separately, that too in time domain, so definitely that is periodic. But whenever there is more than one signal, the signal may or may not be periodic. Okay, it all depends on what is there inside. That means whenever the signal is given like this, we have to find out the individual time period. Then we have to take the ratios. If the ratios are like a rational number, then it is periodic, or otherwise it is not. Okay, but we know one thing, again from our experience, when all the terms are containing omega naught, definitely it will produce pi. So definitely if all the terms are containing pi, definitely this given signal is periodic. Or otherwise, if one signal is having pi, other signal is not having pi, then it may not be periodic, then we cannot proceed. So just we have to check it out. So make sure that the given signal is periodic. So from our experience, okay, we know that. Okay, from our experience, that means we know, okay, these things already. So this is periodic, this signal is periodic. Okay, then we'll proceed. X of t is equal to 1 plus e power j omega naught t, okay, 1 by 2j. Okay, please wait. 1 by 2j e power j omega naught t minus e power minus j omega naught t. Okay, then this is e power j omega naught t plus e power minus j omega naught t, because by 2 will come, that 2 this 2 will cancel. Okay, this is another term. Then here 1 by 2 e power j2 omega naught t plus pi by 4, okay, plus e power minus j2 omega naught t plus pi by 4 by 2. Okay, now this is 1 plus 1 by so this is also e power j omega naught t. This is also e power j omega naught t. So I can take it as common. So that's why 1 plus 1 by 2j plus 1 e power j omega naught t. Again, in other cases also, here also e power minus j omega naught t, here also e power minus j omega naught t. So once if we take it common, you can write like e power minus j omega naught t is equal to 1 minus 1 by 2j. Then here e power j 2 omega naught t is there, then this is something extra phase, so that you can take it out. 1 by 2 e power j pi by 4, then e power j 2 omega naught t. Similarly, here also you can take 1 by 2 e power minus j pi by 4 out, then e power j 2 omega naught t. So that means what? Directly we can write. Okay, so this is C1. Okay, this is C minus 1. Okay, then this is this term is C2. Again, this term is C of minus 2, C minus 2. Okay. So that we can write here C0 is 1. That means the first term is constant term. So constant term we used to denote with C0. C1 is equal to 1 plus 1 by 2j. C minus 1 is equal to 1 minus 1 by 2j. C2 is equal to 1 by 2 e power j 5 by 4. C minus 2 is equal to 1 by 2 e power minus j by 4. Okay, then Cn is equal to 0 for all other value. When n not equal to 0, not equal to plus or minus 1, not equal to plus or minus 2. Okay, okay, when n is equal to 0, 1, minus 1, 2, and minus 2, we are having some value. In all other values, we'll get Cn as 0. Next question. X of t is equal to 2 plus cos 2 pi by 3 t plus 4 sine 5 by 3 into t. So in the previous problem and all, we are not having any confusion regarding the fundamental frequency, because they directly given omega naught. If this is omega naught, this is fundamental frequency, this is also fundamental frequency. This is the second order harmonics. Again, in the previous problem and all, very simple, only single signal. But here they given two signal, but they are not given as a omega naught. So we do not know what is omega naught actually, because so if you consider, say for example, if you consider this as omega naught, okay, if you consider this as omega naught, okay, then what is 5 by 3? How to represent this one? Whether is it 2 omega naught or 3 omega naught? So we cannot represent. So once if you take this as omega naught, okay, we do not know what, because we have to take discrete numbers, omega naught, 2 omega naught, 3 omega naught, something like that. We cannot take the intermediate decimal point values. So that means we have to decide, okay, what could be the fundamental frequency. So if you see that the fundamental frequency has to be pi by 3. Okay, once if the fundamental frequency is 5 by 3, then we are having second and fifth harmonics here. Fifth harmonics. Okay, so in the representation, we are having only second and fifth harmonics. All other harmonics values are 0. So the fundamental frequency in this case is pi by 3. This is the second order harmonics. This is the fifth order harmonics. Okay, so then we'll proceed from this. X of t is equal to 2 plus e power j 2 pi by 3 t plus e power minus j 2 pi by 3 t, again 1 by 2 common, plus 2 e power j 2 pi by 3t plus e power minus j 2 pi, sorry, 5 pi by 3 into t. Okay, then what is C naught? C naught is equal to 2. What is C1? C1, C minus 1 is equal to 1 by 2. Both are same. What about C2? Sorry, what about C? Yes, we are making a mistake here. Please be careful. Okay, so this is the second harmonics. Okay, this is the second harmonics. This is the fifth harmonics. Okay, and again this is the constant. This is the constant. Then once if that is the case, C naught is equal to 2. This is the second harmonics. Okay, second harmonics. So that's why C2 or C minus 2 is equal to 1 by 2. This is the fifth harmonics. Okay, fifth harmonics. Again, we are making one more mistake here. Whenever we convert sine in terms of e power j theta, we'll get 1 by 2j. The 2 cancel here, but j will be there. So here we'll get one extra j. Okay, so then what is C5? C5 is equal to 2 by j. And one more mistake also we are making here. Whenever sign is there, instead of plus, we'll get minus. Here minus will come. Here minus will come. So once if minus comes, again C of minus 5 is minus 2 by j. Okay, so we got C naught, C2, C minus 2, C5, C minus 5. Again, in all other cases, the Cn will be 0. So finally, the Cn will be 0, except when n is equal to 0 or plus or minus 2 or plus or minus 5. So that means what? Whenever we have these values, we will have some values here. Other than those values, we'll get 0. Okay, we'll stop with this. Thank you.